As part of your GCSE Geography course, you need to understand the various challenges cities face through urbanisation. I'm in Bristol to investigate how increased urbanisation and population has led to various problems across the city. In this video, I'll explore the main problems that urbanisation has created in Bristol. This is part of your AQA GCSE Geography Paper 2 case study for a UK city. In the previous video in the series, I explored the main opportunities across the city, so check out the link in the description for my entire Bristol case study playlist.
I have created a revision workbook to accompany this series that you can complete from your notes, own research, or using the videos. A separate mock exam paper with mark scheme is also included. Check out all the resources in the link in the description or on mrbowater.com. Just as a reminder, make sure you understand the differences between opportunities and challenges. When looking at the challenges, you'll break these down into social, economic and environmental challenges. If you are aiming for higher marks, then you need to be aware of the differences rather than general urban challenges. Don't forget, opportunities equals benefits, whilst challenges equals problems.
Bristol has various social challenges which will negatively impact people's lives, factors that impact how society functions. This can include education, health and housing. There is much inequality across Bristol, with some areas having lower income, life expectancy and poorer living standards.
Philwood in Bristol has been ranked in the top 2% of the most deprived areas in England. According to the 2023-24 data, it stated that 36.9% of the children lived in low-income households. Life expectancy was lower at 78 years compared to the average across Bristol at 80 years. When looking at educational performance, Attainment 8 and GCSE scores were considerably lower, with only 36% of students getting 5 GCSEs that included English and Maths. High levels of unemployment were seen in younger people, aged 16 to 24, as well as residents having a stronger perception that antisocial behaviour in the community was a major problem.
In contrast, more affluent areas such as Clifton, Westbury-on-Trim and Stoke Bishop demonstrate the differences in quality of life and standards of living across the city.
Stoke Bishop, an affluent suburb in northwest Bristol, is known for its high standard of living. Leafy streets and larger homes demonstrate significant wealth, high educational achievement, as well as exceptionally low crime rate. Data reports that child poverty is considerably lower than other areas of Bristol at 4%. Life expectancy is 5 years higher than the most deprived areas of Bristol at 83 years. Education performance is considerably higher, with 94% of students obtaining 5 GCSEs, including English and Maths, whilst 50% of residents hold a university degree or higher qualification.
There are also many environmental challenges across Bristol. Derelict buildings, urban sprawl and pollution are all key issues the city faces.
De-industrialisation affected many locations across the city and have become disused and derelict. When areas are left derelict for long periods of time, it can lead to increased crime, squatters moving in, and more antisocial behaviour. Local activists and artists have campaigned for support from the council and community action to help improve the area, whilst lottery grants and possible regeneration projects have also been suggested. There has been concern expressed from local residents though, as they are worried about gentrification which could force people to leave the area. Urban sprawl is the expansion of urban areas, often characterised by low-density, car-dependent developments on the edge of cities. Due to the increase in population in Bristol, there have been increased development of greenfield sites on the urban-rural fringe. There are many advantages and disadvantages of the development of the urban-rural fringe. The increased space and cheaper land make it attractive to developers. Overall, the quality of life will be better for residents. The loss of greenbelt and agricultural land is a major issue, and these developments have seen increased traffic and pollution, whilst rural areas losing their unique character. Bradley Stoke and Harry Stoke are new developments which have led to concerns over congestion, traffic noise, impact on green spaces and animal habitats, pressure on community services, and local flood risk. Bradley Stoke was planned and constructed in the 1970s and 80s. The 1,000-acre site was designed to be a self-contained community with housing, employment, green spaces and schools. The Three Brooks Nature Reserve was at the heart of the planning, with the preservation of the natural woodland. Today, Bradley Stoke is home to over 9,000 residents. Harry Stoke is part of the urban expansion of Bristol, aiming to provide thousands of newly constructed homes. 1,600 new homes were planned, with a significant proportion being designated as affordable housing. Again, this development was planned to include community hubs and schools, extensive public open spaces, and sports and leisure areas. Both these developments have had to consider the dilemma of meeting housing requirements in Bristol due to increasing population, but trying to alleviate the challenges of urbanisation. Strong consideration was needed when aiming to preserve green spaces and the integration of infrastructure and transport networks. You need to consider your position on whether you think we should be continuing to expand cities into the rural-urban fringe to increase the housing capacity, or looking for better alternatives. One alternative is trying to redevelop brownfield sites instead. Bristol Harbourside is an example of a brownfield site that has been regenerated over the last 40 years. As the docklands declined and cargo ships got larger, more factories and warehouses became disused. Now it is a vibrant social area with restaurants, bars and attractions, as well as the development of apartment buildings. The last main challenge is waste and pollution. As population increases in cities, more waste is produced, and as there is an increase in transport use, air pollution also increases. Bristol already has high recycling rates compared to other UK cities, but they are still lower than the national target of 65% by 2035. The main issue is the waste that could be recycled doesn't always make it to the recycling centres and therefore ends up in landfill. The city has employed several strategies to improve the collection and disposal of waste. Educating the public on what can be recycled is an ongoing strategy all cities are continuing to use, as there seems to be a lot of misconceptions on what materials and products can be recycled effectively. Bristol has required residents to take more responsibility when sorting recycling and has provided them with several different categories of waste for curbside collection. The waste management facility in Avonmouth processes recyclable and non-recyclable materials. The waste that is able to be recycled gets sorted and then transported to other processing centres to be prepared for reuse in other products. Instead of sending non-recyclable waste to landfill, the centre burns this waste to produce electricity. The plant can process around 400,000 tonnes of waste a year and produce enough electricity for approximately 50,000 homes. Air pollution is the final challenge in Bristol. It was estimated in a 2019 study that poor air quality across the city can contribute up to 260 premature deaths. These health challenges can also have an economic impact, with the annualised health impact cost of up to £170 million a year. In 2022, Bristol launched their Clean Air Zone initiative. This scheme charged drivers for driving through the central areas of the city if travelling in more polluting vehicles. This was to encourage the use of cleaner vehicles or the promotion of public transport. Data from 2023 demonstrated a drop in nitrogen oxide of 13.2% in the central area. Bristol has also continued to promote public transport and cycling. Bristol has some excellent cycling infrastructure with 12 miles of dedicated cycle paths that are separated from road vehicles and pedestrians. 28% of Bristol residents cycle at least once a week, with an estimated 18 million bike trips a year. In 2020, they also began a government trial of the use of e-scooters. To use the scheme, you must download the app, register with a valid UK driving licence, and find a scooter located nearby. Once you've completed your journey, you must park the scooter in a designated bay to end the ride. There were 2.7 million rides completed in the first year, demonstrating the demand for the scheme and offering another alternative to travelling by car. The general public still have reservations about the project, with concerns over safety and inappropriate use. Here is a quick summary of the main challenges faced in Bristol for your urbanisation case study, and don't forget the context of breaking them down into social, economic and environmental challenges. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the rest of the series in the playlist, which includes my overview of the Temple Quarter Regeneration. Resources and mock exam questions are available on my website.